Wonder if people would be interested in seeing how I actually list my postcards on eBay. Keep watching to find out. Hey guys, Ken here. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to see you. On today's video, I just want to share with you the exact step-by-step procedure that I use when I am loading cards up to eBay. You know, I sell vintage cards on eBay, vintage postcards, and I have a procedure that I follow religiously, and it involves certain equipment and certain steps, and I just want to take you through those steps. And that way, if you're thinking about getting into the postcard market, maybe this will help you, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take you over to where my scanner is, and I'm going to show you that, okay? So let's go there right now. Okay, guys, here we are at my scanner station. Now, this is one of the tools I use to operate my business, and it wasn't cheap to buy this. I'm going to be honest with you. This is an Epson ES400 document scanner, but this piece of equipment saves me a ton of time, you know, when it comes to getting the pictures prepared for eBay, because I used to have to go into the studio and you know, photograph everything front and back and drag everything in there and then drag everything out, and it was just very time consuming and a lot of effort and everything. But this just saves so much time. I can literally scan a postcard in a half a second, both front and back sides simultaneously. So I'm just going to show you how this works. I'm going to reach over here and open up the scanner, and I'm going to pull out the tray, and I'm going to power it up. Wait for that to set. Just takes a second. Okay, now here's a postcard, beautiful postcard of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California. Okay, now what I do normally with these postcards is I flip the card upside down and I put it in the scanner upside down and backwards. And there's a reason I do that, because when it shows up on the screen over here, when we scan the image, then it actually shows up in the correct position. Okay, so I'm going to open up the software right now. I'm just going to hit the scanning tool over here like that, and watch what happens. The scanner scans the card in less than half a second. Beautiful. Brings both the images over here, and I'll show you that in just a minute here on my screen. And I'm going to take you in the computer and actually show you how we go from there and put it into a folder and then go to Photoshop and then to eBay. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, guys, here we are inside my computer, and this is what the scanning software has scanned. As you can see, it's scanned both sides simultaneously, beautifully. Couldn't do a better job there of both the front and the back of this postcard. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to transfer this to a folder on my desktop. So I'm going to click on Next over here in the bottom corner, and then we're going to hit Save. Okay, now I've got this designated to go right to next to a series of folders that I've got for these, you know, these postcards. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to type in a SKU number. This is how I'm going to find my postcards. So I'm going to type in PC for postcard. That's my SKU code. And the next number is going to be 1264. 1264. And we're going to hit enter. And what that's going to do is it's going to put it right next to the folder here. I hope you can see that okay. Off to the left here, and we're just going to click and drag and drop that into that folder, because every one of my postcards gets its own folder. And then I'm just going to right click, go to new, and go to folder, and we're going to create another folder, PC 1265, and that's for the next card, you know, after I finish this one. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is go into Photoshop. Okay, we're in Photoshop now. Now, like I mentioned before, you don't necessarily have to have Photoshop. You could have any type of photo manipulation software program that, you know, you're comfortable with that has, you know, just basic color correction tools, and you should be fine. But I use Photoshop. You know, I'm a photographer, so I use Photoshop and Lightroom sometimes. But we're going to open the file. I'm going to bring those photos into the Photoshop program. So I'm just going to go File, Open, and we're going to find the file folder. I've got it buried in several subfolders here. There it is. And scroll down, and there's the folder. We're going to double click on it. And then all I'm going to do is hit Control A to select both front and back. If you're on a Mac, it's Command A. And we're going to go Open, and that's going to pull it into Photoshop. Now, I want to say something. It's not apparent on this card, but sometimes on some cards you're going to get a yellowish tone. And that's due to the color temperature in the light on the scanner. Every light has what they call a color temperature according to a degrees Kelvin scale. It's a little technical. I'm not going to get into it here on this video. But basically, it's a way of measuring the light intensity and the color. This one ended up actually pretty accurate. The back of the card, I'm looking at the card here, it's white, and this is white, so we're going to go with that. I don't need to make any color corrections to that at all. So all I'm going to do is go over here to the top corner, left corner. I'm going to click on File and Save As, and then I'm just going to save over the original file and click Yes, and click OK. And that one's done. Okay, now I'm going to look at the front of the card. All right, I'm going to go to the other image, and I can see just by looking at it, the blues are a little too saturated. So what I'm going to do is go over here to Image and go to Adjustments, and then I'm going to go to Hue Saturation, like that. And I'm going to just pull down on the master slider. This is going to pull every color in the image down. I'm going to pull it down about maybe 20% or so. And that's looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to adjust the hues here a little bit on the cyan channel because it's not quite that tone of blue. So we're just going to shift the hues a little bit here, more towards the greenish side. And about there, bluish green, somewhere in there. And I'm going to increase the reds just a little. I'm going to go to the red channel and increase the reds just slightly. And then that looks pretty good. And I'm going to click OK. And now what I'm going to do is just go to Image, Adjustments, and go to Levels. And I'm just going to bring up the midtones a little bit, just to make it a little brighter. You can see that foreground a little bit. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm looking at it on the card because one of the things you want to do is you want to try to get this as color accurate as you can when you load your postcards up to eBay, because someone could call you out and say this wasn't as it appeared on my computer. And even though every computer monitor is different as far as color and saturation and all that and settings, you want to try to get it as close as possible. I'm going to set that off to the side just for a second, and we're going to save this and Save As over the original folder. Here we go. And I'm going to click Yes, and OK, and that's it. Now, normally, you don't have to do all that to just one card. I know that seems like a few steps. This one was a little tricky, but most of the cards, they're pretty accurate, and they scan very accurate. That machine does an amazing job. And, you know, usually I can fly through that in just about 15, 20 seconds. So, but this one took a little more work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to eBay. So I'm going to open up eBay. Now this is one of my eBay stores, one of my eBay accounts here. I have over 1,000 listings currently in this account. And we're in the eBay Seller Hub right here. And we're just going to click on the store icon. If you don't have an eBay store, I would advise you to get one. It'll save you on some eBay fees and things like that. So I'm going to click on the store icon. Now, I know this bridge is in San Francisco, California. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my search feature on my store, and I'm just going to type in Goldie Golden Gate Bridge, California. CA for California. And then click search. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up every card that I have that has got the bridge in it, or it's got California in it, or anything like that related to that. So I'm going to pick one that actually has the Golden Gate Bridge in it. And I'm noticing that this is what they call a Chrome card. This is from 1939 on. And you'll learn the errors as you go along if you're into postcards. And I'm just going to pick one that's a Chrome. And let's see, this one looks pretty close. So all we're going to do is go over here and we're going to click Sell Similar Item. Okay, because we're going to use this as a template. I'm going to click Sell Similar. And the reason I do that is because I want to be able to keep some of the keywords and the data in the title. The less you have to type, the more time you save and the quicker you can list on eBay. So I'm going to keep Vintage Postcard. Now this particular postcard is not posted. Some of my postcards are. I mean, this one from this particular listing was. So I'm going to just click here and I'm going to take out that 1939 and I'm going to leave in San Francisco, California, Golden Gate Bridge. Let me look at the card. Scenic View. Okay, there's really no cars in there. We're going to take out the word cars. And I'm just going to put Scenic View and, I don't know, just water. I've got 6 characters left, 5 characters left. I'm going to put in grass. There's grass in the photo. Okay, those are just keywords that are going to help drive traffic to your card so people can look at it and buy it. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to highlight part of this title up to the point where it says San Francisco, California. And I'm going to hit Control-C. And if you're on a Mac, it's Command-C. Okay, because I'm using this particular template, it's already in the right category, which is California, cities and towns, U.S. states. Okay, this is already a Chrome. I've told you because, as you learn the errors, you'll get to, more relaxed as far as recognizing what types of cars belong to what errors, and that's important. Now, here's something very, very important. And I've missed this a couple of times on my own, and you don't want to miss this because if you miss this, it's going to cause you some heartache because you're going to have to spend a lot of time trying to find your item. What this is right here, see where this says custom SKU label right here? Well, on this particular listing, it said PC 1060. Okay, I believe this card, if I'm not mistaken, was 1063. Let me go back to that for just a second and look at that. It was, nope, 1264. I wasn't even close. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to change the SKU number. Okay, because what I did unmistakenly a couple of times is I forgot to change the SKU number on a previous template, and then when the card sold, I had to look through about 1,200 cards to find that card because the SKU number was wrong. And that's something you don't want to do because that takes a long time when you've got that many cards. So we're going to change this SKU to PC 1264. And that way, when the card sells, I know where exactly it is, and I can go there and pick out the card. Okay. Now, again, it's in the Chrome era. We're going to replace these pictures here. X out these. And we're going to keep this. This is something that I just do on my own. This is a photograph I took in the studio of one of like a mock-up of a card, and it just shows how I ship my cards safely in my envelopes to my customers. This kind of gives them a sense of security that I actually go the extra mile. That's something you might want to think about doing too. And anything you can do that's going to give your customer an assurance that they're going to get their cards safely. Okay, so now we're going to pull those photos into eBay, and I'm going to go to that folder. There we go, and PC, and scroll all the way to the bottom. I'm going to go to PC 1264. I'm going to hit Control A again, select both of those, Command A if you're on a Mac, and we're going to pull those right into eBay. Okay. And we're just going to drag and drop these into position. I usually put the front card first, the back, and then this little thing that I created with the envelope. Now we're going to look at that again. We're going to look at the card and see how accurate that is. And it's a little dark. Sometimes on eBay, postcards load, and when they load a little bit dark, but not to fret. They give you a control here, a brightness control, and you can just use this slider and just perk it up just a little bit, add a little more contrast, and that looks a lot better. Okay, and what I normally do here with the back of the card is I will just use the sharpening tool and bring it up to where the triangle is, right about there, 90%. That just sharpens up this area, especially if there's writing on it or a postmark. It just sharpens it a little better so your customer can see it a little clearer. And then we're just going to click save, and that's going to save that. And that's good. Now moving along, we're going to move down here. This is already marked San Francisco because, again, I'm using the same template. This saves me all the time I need so I can list quicker. Now, this one right here, brand, this says Union Oil Company. Sometimes you get a brand. These are what's called item specifics on eBay. And I'm going to look up the publisher on this card, see if it's the same. Nope, it says Mike Roberts Color Production. So this is a different publisher. So that's why I'm going to change this right here to Mike Roberts Color Production. That's the publisher. And that's what I usually put in the brand field. Okay, now we're going to move along. And it is printed. It is not posted. I'm going to change that field to unposted. And it's a chrome. I usually put color for features. Modified item, no. United States, California, great. Okay, now down here in the description, again, we're going to remove the 1939 part because there's no posting on this. And we're just going to click here in front of the three dots. Oh, there goes my GoPro. And we're going to remove this all the way up to San Francisco. And this is where, remember at the top I copied part of the title? Well, now we're going to paste that into the title here. We're going to hit Control V and Command V if you're on a Mac. And we're just going to separate the keywords here a little bit. Scenic view, water, grass, and we're going to pull this back a little bit so it's more uniform. Now, because that other card on that other template, on the previous template, was posted, we've got to take this out. Okay, because this has no postmark on it. So we're just, what I normally put is when it doesn't have a posting on it, I just put this card is unposted. And I usually try to highlight that in blue, whether it's posted or not, just to kind of draw attention to it so they know that it's not posted. So we go to advanced, and then we go to the little A here, the color picker, and then you're going to click on the blue field, and that makes that text blue. Now down here, I have a, this is for my, my eBay store. It's a cross-reference point. eBay does allow this. You can go into the HTML code and actually put a live link on your listings. And I just clicked here, clicking to see more of what I have to offer before you be sure you visit my eBay store by clicking here. That's a live link. And that'll take people to my eBay store so they can look at more postcards to buy. And we're just going to come down here. Now we're going to look at the price here. This is just used as a reference guide. Guys, don't treat this as gospel, okay? This is a very nice picture of this bridge. It's a very popular bridge. So even though they say the average selling price is $4.99, I'm not going to go that low. I don't go that low on any of my cards. I mean, my cheapest card is $5.25. So I kind of use that as a guide. And if I think it's worth more, then I price it accordingly. So what we're going to do here, we're going to actually change this price to $6.25. I think that's a good price. It's not too far from $5, which is the average selling price according to this. And we're just going to go with that just to start and see how that goes. Then we're going to scroll down. I offer the free shipping, of course, through eBay's new system, eBay Standard Envelope, which allows me to send postcards first class with tracking, which is working out very well. And we're just going to, I've got 1 business day. We're going to change this size of the envelope to 6 by 4 by 1, and it's going to be 1 ounce. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down a little bit more. And if you want, you can just click on preview. You just want to check your listing. This will give you a pretty accurate representation of what your listing is going to look like. And you can look at, make sure everything's correct, which it is. And then we're going to just click down here in the left on this blue button and where it says list item. And we're going to list it. And then it's going to come up on eBay. Here it comes. There it is. And I can click on the link and I can check it out for myself. There it is, live on eBay. Okay, and they can buy it now. That's what I use, buy it now. I don't do auctions. I don't really use offers that much. I just do buy it now. Okay, that way when that cha-ching goes off on my phone, I know I've made a sale. And of course I give the free shipping, and here's my pictures over here. And everything looks great. Everything's paginated great. And as you can tell, this is a live link. And if I click on it, it takes people right to my eBay store. So that's the advantage of having that installed, put in your listing, which eBay does allow. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's how basically I take it from the scanner to a folder on my desktop, and then from the folder to Photoshop, and then to eBay. And so now we're going to just go back into my office, and we'll just finish out this video. Well, that's it, guys. That's how I do the whole process, from taking the postcard through the scanner and putting it in a folder, and then transferring those images into Photoshop, tweaking them up a little bit, and then uploading them to eBay to where I can make them available for sale. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of that video. And if you did, make sure you smash that like button. It helps the channel out a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. Okay, listen, I got to go, but you guys have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, and bye for now.